let's talk about non-negotiables. What are we talking about?
People are afraid to ask themselves, am I doing what it is that I want to do? So that's
Is that me? Is that me? What is that?
Simple things, if you do them every day, will take you to amazing places.
I think we're gonna change some people's lives today.
I get goosebumps as I say this, actually.
So non-negotiables, right? Kasey, welcome to Reppin Fitness.
Thank you, Brick. Glad to be here.
I think we're gonna change some people's lives today. I think we're gonna help some people. Now, my thought is, if people are watching this right now, they're looking for some help, right? Let's get right to it. How do you help people? How'd you get into this?
I love it. I love it. Well, 20 years as 20 years in the real estate field as a top real estate agent. I had some clients that came to me after some complex negotiations, some executives in Silicon Valley, and they said, we'd really like you to help us with some other things in our lives, in our business. We see some abilities that you have. And so was one of the first, I guess, kind of like official places that it started as far as my first paying clients. And it turned out that they wanted help in fitness, help in nutrition. And there were some things within their business, financial lives, personal lives that I was able to help with. So really it was kind of the, I guess they call it holistic, but the whole package, really improving in every area of their lives is what it's all about. And so that's what I have helped people to do, been helping people to do now for years, inspire people to do. And the results have been amazing. And it's, with regards to success and fulfillment, all of this starts with your physical fitness, your physical health and all of that, because what does anything else matter if you don't have the physicality to enjoy it? So in some kind of a nutshell, that's what I do.
So you sell houses? How big of houses? How big houses do you have?
I have a current listing that's about 5,500 square feet, but that's kind of rare for our area. So
that's big.
Is
there a gym in it? Is there a gym in it?
It's a lot of house. It's interesting. People these days don't want as big a houses as they did in the past. People are a little bit more into a compact. In general, we see a trend towards smaller houses and living spaces in a lot of ways.
Yeah, one summer, Brick spent it in a tiny house.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
How big was it? Pretty small.
It's about as big as this locker room. It's not too big. And it forced me to make new habits because there was no dishwasher. I had to wash all my dishes every single time I ate. But I felt like that was very helpful because it gave me good habits. I was wondering, I don't know if you heard me, but that big house, is there a gym in it?
There is not a gym in that house, but you can put one there. You can put one there.
Yeah. How much is that going for?
So that's about $3 million. That particular listing. We're here in coastal California, so it's not an inexpensive market.
I'm gonna have to sell more shirts because I wouldn't be able to afford that. So if you're watching and you want Brick to buy this $3 million house, we're gonna make a giant gym. Go to brickheadstrong.com, pick up some shirts. Let's do this. But
I love it.
Anyways,
let's make it happen.
This is Reppin Fitness. I gotta ask you about reps. What are you repping at the gym? And what are you telling your clients to focus on when they're at the gym?
Well, you know what? I was in my 20s. I was a personal trainer when I was in college and just out of college. And when I look back at that time I spent in the gym for myself, and I think this is common for a lot of guys, a lot of people, just lifting heavier at times than I should have. Not warming up properly.
Ego lifting.
So many things I was doing
lifting.
wrong. Yeah. So really, at this point, the results that I'm able to achieve for myself and help my clients to achieve really has a lot more to do with form, reps, as you know, and really all of it together, even the time, the space, the rest time between those sets. So it's like everything else in life, though. But it's a great metaphor. Really focusing on form first is what I tell people, right? As you know,
Right.
when it comes to lifting weights and all of that, it's a sport of form. And so that's really where it begins. Like when you were talking about your habits when you lived in the tiny home, it's like you have to adjust how you're doing things, the form, right, that your life is taking, that your habits take. And so this is what it's all, this is what it's all about, is basically like, how do we do that? And the way is by controlling our form, by having that form to begin with. And then from there, we can like add reps, add weight, and all of that kind of thing, but never mitigating that form, right? It's like that core essential kind of baseline. So this is huge, I think, for so many people, especially, when you're not a kid and you're not made out of just rubber and you really want to get results, minimize injury, just so important.
So what you're telling me is when I see people at the gym only putting up one plate, right? But I'm looking at them and I'm like, wow, that's some great form. Now, that's what it's all about, right? We're not trying to ego lift. We're trying to do it right.
That's right. That's right. Got to watch that ego lift and check that ego at the door. I mean, I'm human. So once in a while I'm in there with some friends and I'll notice myself starting to kind of like adjust what I'm doing based on other people being there, or or something that someone else is doing. And that's when it's so focused. It's so important to keep that focus. I always tell my clients, like the neuromuscular, there's a lot of ways to approach like strength training or weightlifting, but the neuromuscular connection and the meditative aspect that you get and the therapeutic aspect and so much that's happening there, because it's not what we do, right? It's how we do it. And in life and like how I approach coaching, it's like how we do anything is how we do everything. So for me, it all starts in the gym. It all starts with physical fitness, and yeah, form is just so key. So yeah, it's been amazing for people, I think, too, Rick, to realize the basics, that we often overcomplicate things. People tend to overcomplicate things sometimes to justify our inaction or a reason not to take action. But in reality, success is very simple. Success in fitness, success in the gym, all this, success in business, right? And the principles that if we can correctly learn the principles around strength training, fitness, weights and all this, it's so easy, at least in my mind, and to show other people how to take those same principles and apply those to your business or to any other area of your life, even like, your relationship with your partner or any of that. So I just think it's the best place to start to learn to create things and manifest things and change things. Because if you can change your own body and change your habits that go along with that, you can change anything. So.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people, when they hear me say, get more reps, they think it's just a catchphrase. But reality is, it's about consistency, And I got to tell you, I found out about you through an ad on Facebook.
Oh, really?
And, oh, yeah. I mean, I know we're in the same program. We're friends with the same people. But, man, that ad grabbed my attention. It's the music. It got me fired up. Now, what kind of clients do you normally work with? It seemed like you work with people that maybe took a little bit too long of a break away from the gym.
Yeah, I think that even for myself, this is a great example. So a lot of people have taken time off or don't work out at all, have developed a sedentary lifestyle, as you know. For myself, about 2 years back, I got myself onto a strength training program back into the gym after shelter in place and COVID and all that. And but nice. I had been, I was super excited. But I had been doing jujitsu and been doing boxing and running and surfing and calisthenics and stuff, just not focused on weight training and strength training. And what was so surprising to me was the changes that came, already being in good health, but the changes that came from strength training and lifting weights that I didn't get from all this other cardio or kind of less strength training focused, exercises. So for myself, I recompositioned my body, even though I was already in good shape. Most of my clients, to answer your question, they're all over the place, depending on, I have a couple of clients that are professional athletes, but they're more focused on like the mindset and business. They didn't come to me for physical fitness training. They're ultra marathoners and all that. So that's,
is that me? Is that me? What is that?
Sorry, let me grab it. Sorry about that, Brick. That's just my business partner there.
What's her name?
That's Yara. Yara Goose, my German Shepherd.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a good guard dog. So
Oh yeah, I thought that was in my room here. I thought that was I thought we had a dog here.
Yeah,
Not
it's
bad. I
funny.
did.
German Shepherd. We got 2 horses. Got a couple of cats. It's a kind of a wild animal situation here, and once in a while she'll pop off or something. So But sorry for the interruption.
Oh no, I love dogs. That's great.
Yeah,
Maybe
me too.
maybe we could have her on as a guest next week. That'd be
I
nice.
love it. I love it.
Yeah,
You
that'd
like
be cool.
tigers? She,
Oh yeah.
so I was telling you my clients, a lot of folks get away from, as you know, physical fitness and the gym and
Oh
all
yeah.
that stuff. Kids and big life, think work takes over, and so a lot of it is just reconnecting people with that basic level of fitness. But it's been really cool to show people once they kind of get active again, if they're not, or if they're already working out, to show them how to do it better, to show them how they can do it in a way that they get, better results for less time or for the time that they're putting in. And again, you take those habits of being very effective from the gym and apply it to other areas of life. It's just so powerful. And you see the light bulb go off for people and like, oh yeah, this makes sense and this makes sense.
Right,
And
right.
showing people how simple it can be, how simple it can be. If you go to the gym every day for an hour and a half, and you're following a program 5 days a week, 6 days a week, whatever it is, but you're just working out every day, even an hour a day, after a year or 2 or 3, it doesn't take that long, but over the course of years, you get incredible results from these simple actions. It doesn't take something super unique like gimmicks and stuff, So great to remind people how simple it is to have that success and fulfillment.
So what you're telling me is, let's say Brick took 2-3 years off from going to the gym. Can I bounce back in just 30 days? That sounds about right.
You may possibly see a little change in that 30 days, but
Oh,
yeah, you're not, and you can feel some differences in that time. But as far as changing your body, it's going to take a bit longer.
oh, how long we talking?
And this is why it's so key to fall in love with the process. Is really one of the. It sounds kind of cliche, like it's all about the process, because we hear that a lot. Although Brick, a lot of the answers to life's mysteries are, I find, in cliches. And the ones that you can't answer in cliches, the others you can answer in movies. We'll answer a lot of them for you. But the neuromuscular connection, getting the clients back into the gym, showing them how they can get more out of their time that they're doing, and it's really cool to watch people's minds be blown. Guys who have been working out consistently, or who used to work out when they were younger, relearning how to lift weights, how to do strength training, and how to approach it with the proper form. And the biggest one for me is the psychology that comes from it, like the neuromuscular changes, the neuromuscular connection, and the changes that happen in just how we experience life. I guess what I'm trying to get to is loving the process, is where I was on the cliches, loving the process, because if you love the process, then it doesn't matter. Like when people have told me my whole life, in your 30s, you're not going to work out. You'll see. It's okay in your early 20s, or in your 40s, you'll be over it. I got people telling me now, like in your 60s, it's just so hard. And the thing is, I understand what they're talking about. But the thing is, if I'm not totally caught up on my results, and I'm fully invested in the process, and I love the process, and that's what it's all about for me, then it's like, it doesn't matter if later in life I don't look as good, or if the weights aren't as heavy, or whatever it is, because it's the process that we're addicted to. And that the man or woman who is more committed to their process for achieving their results than they are to achieving their results cannot be stopped. And this is kind of like one of the secrets in life. It's like, if you just keep going and staying on your course, track, measure, adjust as you need to, you're going to get there, and you're going to get those results. And a lot of people are afraid to believe this, or afraid to have that kind of faith. It's like being in a sales job, right? There's no sales position, sales career. There's no guarantees on anything, yet it still works if we stick to a specific process. So,
Yeah, I agree with that. And now I wanted to mention, Brick, he's pretty old school, right? When I go to the gym, I write everything down in a notebook. But
yeah.
when you work with your clients, how are you staying in touch? How are you getting updated on their process?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I have an app where we do their custom workouts in the app. They're able to track everything that they're doing in the app.
That's
I can
cool.
see all of that.
What's that?
Yeah,
What's that app called?
it's mine. It's the Hinchman Coaching app.
Oh, Hinchman Coaching.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's that has, we keep their body stats. Have them do weekly body stats, so they're taking measurements, photos, progress photos, tracking their weight. If they have
How are
access.
they doing that? How are they doing that?
So, well, if they have access to something like an in-body scan, or one of my guys uses a DEXA scan. They use, those things for the body fat, and then, or just scales for the weight. Progress pictures, and also measurement just with like the tape, on different body parts is super powerful. And it's interesting because if people don't even work out to begin with, they might say, well, that, like anything, that sounds kind of strange. The higher the level of understanding, the more nuanced the distinction, right? So people might say, well, why would you measure different body parts? Well, once you get into a certain level of fitness, and you know this, Rick, the reality is you actually have the ability, if you want, to increase the size of your arms by 1 inch, or potentially decrease your waist, by an inch, or whatever it is. So you can actually alter at a certain level. We can actually alter our physique in ways that we want. And this is like mind blowing to my clients, even though the reality is this is, the ability to do this has been there. But when you have an app where you can just flip through your photos from all these weeks, or it graphs your weight, or it graphs your body fat percentage, you can see all your workouts, you can see all of the weights. Every time you're doing an exercise, you can see what you did last time. All this stuff, it's just very, very helpful, and it's all right there on your phone. People love it. I also help them to develop non-negotiable daily tasks in different areas of their life. Those are tracked in the app as well. So I can see all of it in live time. They can see it, and we communicate, through text. Yeah, so pretty cool.
Let's get into that. Let's talk about non-negotiables. What are we talking about? What are you telling people?
I love it. So for me, this is what it is. And this is just so powerful for any of us to hear. I believe I'm biased, but 3 to 5. So non-negotiables, 3 to 5 things that you can do every day. I tell my clients, and for myself too, and I reassess these consistently. 3 to 5 things that you can do, that you would do, that by doing these things, no less than 3, no more than 5 is a good guideline, every day, whether it's Monday through Friday on all of them, or some of them are, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week or whatever, every day you consistently do these things. And by doing these things, you will most effectively move the needle in each of the main areas of your life. So your mindset, for example, your fitness, your finance, other things on there might be like your family or your faith, but like these main areas of life. Most people have a hard time in life or in business when they do, because even if they're not having a hard time, most people major in minor things. And if we focus on those main areas, and so the concept is, what are the things, the very small handful of things that you could do every day that would affect all these areas? And so you have to have that picture of like where you want your life to go and what all these areas are. And so like for myself, it's a wake up time, a workout time, sticking to a program, that workout. And then I have a lead generation, like client calls time, and a team meeting time. And that's, I think, 4 different ones. And I have one other in the afternoon. So other clients will have like a gratitude meditation. Almost everyone has a wake up time pretty consistently. So these are examples. It's different for everyone. Some people will have like a substance they need to avoid, or a certain thing they need to really focus on. And these can change over time, because it's basically, as of right now, today, whenever it is that we're talking, what is it? What are these things that would most effectively for you right now move the needle in these different areas of life, right? And so that can change over time. It does change. We change. And so our goals change. And we need to ask ourselves these things consistently. Like, am I doing what it is that I want to do? People are afraid to ask themselves this, or is my physical fitness where I want it to be, or whatever. People are afraid to ask themselves these things because they're afraid of what the answer is. The thing is, if you're not where you want to be, you identify it. You identify where it is that you want to go, and you clarify what's that gap, right? Define the gap between where you are and where you want to go. Break that down into simple daily steps. This is how we get our non-negotiables. And you stick to these processes. It's like I climbed into the top 1% of real estate agents in the nation by following, these processes of building what will be a 7-figure coaching business probably this year through just sticking to simple processes. So, it's very, they're very powerful.
Maybe you could give me a deal on that house if you're doing so well.
You got it, Rick. I will give you a deal.
Nice. That'd be great. But let's think here. Let me think here. So non-negotiables, right? Let me think about Brick. Brick wakes up every morning, and one of my non-negotiables is getting my steps in. Steps are reps. Now, when I'm getting those steps in, I'm thinking a lot. And I feel like when I'm thinking, it helps me get in the zone for the rest of the day. Now, what's some examples of things you tell your clients to try to work in?
Absolutely. As far as the psychology around all of that, or
Absolutely.
yeah. So it's huge. I think one of the biggest deals is you got to close one door to open another. So when it
Oh,
comes,
I like that.
yeah, it's really powerful because I've gotten to this point, Brick, in my life, and this is a part of what has been a calling for some time to share with other people. I've gotten to a point where I'm able to spend, I get goosebumps as I say this, actually. I'm able to spend pretty much all of my time, or an extremely large percentage of it, in flow state. So like in any given moment, like right now, I'm able to actually center myself toward the reality. This is a form of alignment where the reality is like at this exact moment, there's no one else I'd rather be talking to, and there's nowhere else I'd rather be at this moment. And a lot of people, that's hard for them to do because they haven't closed the door. Like, let me give you a quick example. Yesterday, I had a big letdown in a business situation. Like, there's stuff going on all the time. There's letdowns, there's wins, there's losses, whatever. So yesterday there was this like letdown. Something didn't work out the way that I wanted it to work out, or at least as of yet. And so that created there was this negative feeling. Again, it's not what happens. It's like the meaning we tie to it, right? So I had this like letdown, and I always make an effort to leave that in the day before and start the new day fresh. We're all humans. So I wake up and there's like some residual of that. And it's like, a little harder to get out of bed. Didn't feel like going to the gym, but it's a non-negotiable. So you just go, right? And it's like, if you got to go lighter, if you have to do it a little bit differently or whatever, but you just get yourself there and you work through it. And it's like, I knew as I sat there not feeling great, I knew that in an hour I was going to be feeling incredible. And it's like hard to believe it. But then there I was an hour later, hour and a half later, just feeling amazing in the gym. And that it's like the universe rewards us for if we're willing to move forward in faith where we don't understand exactly how it's going to work out, but we know it's what we're supposed to do. And that's what it's all about, like living from your conscience. And you can't live from your conscience. Like if your mindset, if it's working right, then you would be physically fit. If your mind's really working correctly for a period of time, then you would be financially in a strong place. All these kind of things. And people really resist that. It's like, if there's a financial problem, the problem's out there. If there's a problem with a person, it's out there. And it's like, it's all solved internally. And this is like one of the magic, it's magic what fitness, Rick, it's like fitness and what it can do for us. It's pretty incredible. And I tell people this too. It's like when someone has a problem in their life in any way, whether it's with them or with someone else, you can alter the fabric of the universe if you're willing to change yourself and change the way that you do things, the way that you see things. And people have a really hard time with this. It's like my spouse is doing this or someone else is doing something, or I'm not getting this result physically that I want. But it's like, if you can alter certain things about how you see it and how you proceed, that's where the power really is. And so, there's a lot to be said for when something is if we take responsibility for every area of our lives. If something is our responsibility, if it's in our life, it's our responsibility, at least how we deal with it. It just raises your experience in every possible way. And people want to avoid, people want peace, but they don't want to do the work. And for me, it all starts with working out, starts with the gym. It starts with having that physical grounded like center. And from there, we can do anything.
Right. I think people, they struggle a lot with having difficult circles. They don't want to cut people out. They want to just keep doing the same thing. And that's where someone like you, as a fitness coach, helps get me motivated to be on the right track. Updating your circle, that's going to improve your day-to-day life.
Huge. It's huge. Yeah, it's the law of exposure, right? If you're around 10 people that are millionaires and you're not, and you're consistently around those people and they're your peer group, you'll probably will become a millionaire, at least start making a lot more money. And it's the same with fitness and everything else. And one of the things, that I do too is there are different forms of like pattern interruptions, whether it's in the moment or just in your life in general, like, because you're talking about that repetition habits, right? The habits become automatic. So if we can take the time up front to develop some habits that are powerful, then they'll just become automatic. Like I hardly have to convince myself ever to go to the gym. I just go. I'm sure you as well. It just becomes, an automatic thing.
Yeah.
This is what we want to do. Build those automatic, powerful habits. Again, the ones that'll take us most effectively from where we are to where we want to go. I have all my clients start with a gap analysis where they define these different areas with their mindset, their fitness, where they are now and where they want to go. And people are blown away how simple the steps are, whether it's working out for an hour a day or talking to 5 new clients a day or whatever. Simple things, if you do them every day, will take you to amazing places, So it's great to be able to show that to people and watch them achieve those results, keep them inspired in the process.
Right, that's just it. I think that people get so hung up on the fact that maybe you woke up one morning and you had a bad night's sleep, right? And the last time you were at the gym, you had some pretty good lifts, right? And then this day, it didn't go so hot.
Right.
But the point is, you were there. You went in and you got that work in. Your body responds differently every day depending on the environment you've created for yourself. But hey, listen, this has been Reppin Fitness. I really appreciate you took the time to be on and also introduce me to your dog and my future home. So, where can people, if they want to talk to you, how can they connect with you?
I'm easy to find on Instagram. It's just Hinchman Kasey with a K, Hinchman Kasey,
Okay.
or hinchmancoaching.com.
Nice. So before we go, there's people watching, right? They need help. Let's come up with one question to ask just to get them started in the right direction. What can we ask them?
A question to ask them, I would say this, especially when you wake up first thing in the morning, but at any moment, just ask yourself, tune into your own heart, your own conscience, and what is it telling you? What is your own conscience telling you? And that, it's kind of ties into the concept of the truth will set you free. So when it comes to workout plans, what it is that we need to do, what action we need to get into, or whatever it is that we need to do or move we need to make, it's a matter of really being clear with our conscience and being congruent with that and in alignment with that, because it's so easy to seek answers on the outside. And this is one of the things too about doing those reps, about working out, like the answers are found within, right? Like I tell people, stop looking outside so much, like look within, that's where you'll find the answers. So I would say, look within your own heart, ask yourself, what is it? Wherever you're feeling discomfort, that's where we start. And, so this is a lot of times for most people, the gym, physical fitness is the foundation really for everyone of it. So yeah, right. If you want more of any of that, reach out to me. I'm happy to help you get your program.
That's
or
great.
whatever.
That's great. Yeah. Today is right now. So how are you feeling today? And how can you feel better getting something done? This has been Reppin Fitness. We'll see you next episode.
Thanks, Brett. Appreciate the opportunity, man.